was always a black screen to me. It felt like something far away, so far away that there was nothing I could do about it. And so I chose to close my eyes to it. And this was all I saw, darkness. But when I had a chance to backpack through Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, and India, I had the chance to see poverty for myself. It wasn't this dark, cruel screen of darkness that I thought it was. There were people involved. There were people inside this darkness. And so I spent my days with them, sitting with them in village houses in Laos, drinking chai in an open garbage landfill in Delhi, taking photos in a slum, sharing sweets in a mountain village, sharing more sweets and dinner by a train track in Mumbai, and celebrating Christmas in Dharavi, and even my birthday with them as well. And when I came to Jodhpur in India, I couldn't take it anymore. I wanted to help, and so I asked these kids, is there anything that I can help you with? And quite literally, they answered me, why don't you help me milk this goat? And of course, how difficult is it? So down I went on my 2 knees, and with my fingers, I squeezed the others, but nothing came out. I tried again with all my might, and the goat cried. The goats cried, and the children were laughing. And I thought that it was a prank, that these kids, maybe the goat wasn't a goat that could produce milk, right? It was a good assumption. But then the kids just wrapped his fingers around the others, out came glorious milk. And here was when I realized that without a skill, I would be more of a nuisance than a help that I would be, that I wanted to be. And there were others who would contribute. There were doctors, engineers, people who had skills, they could contribute. But me, I couldn't even milk the goat. I was but a business student who barely knew how to do business. But this unsettled all the comfortable conformities that I had held with my life all this while. And I decided that I wanted to make a conscious decision to help. And doing the only thing that I knew how at that time, I did something very familiar to all of us, an overseas community service project. In December 2009, I had the opportunity to lead a group of 14 Singapore Management University students on this OCSP. And we happened to know of this community in Nepal which needed help. And when we were thinking about what we could do to help them, I came across the story of Room to Read. Started by ex-Microsoft engineer John Wood, Room to Read aspires to bring education to the children of the world by building libraries. And after seeing how impactful and how much the children needed books, we went for that. And we created a library with 300 books, 2 desktops, a laptop, and a projector, all loaded with about 1,000 ebooks. And about the same time, I came across this book as well, by C.K. Prahalad, titled The Fortune at the Bottom of the Pyramid. And he had one revolutionary idea, which was that poverty was a problem that could be solved by business solutions. You don't need aid. You don't need the United Nations. And least of all, you don't need the government. You need entrepreneurs, and social entrepreneurs to be precise. And so, given my prior beliefs in entrepreneurship, I reveled in my newfound belief that social entrepreneurship can change the world. And off I went to thinking about how we could stimulate some social entrepreneurship in the village that we were going to. And then again, doing the only thing that I knew how, I came up with the idea of a business plan competition. And this concept was as foreign to the villagers over there as milking goats is to us, or to me for that matter. And nevertheless, we went ahead with it, and we added concepts, programs like inspiration sessions, where we shared stories of similar village Nepali entrepreneurs who made it like themselves. And we also helped them out with basic business concepts, calculations of profitability, but most importantly, we taught them the importance of being social in business. And then over the next few days, we tried to help them to refine their ideas and how they could do their business better. And finally, it culminated into this, the stone table pitch. A once-in-a-lifetime presentation for these students atop the stone table in the middle of the village school, where they pitch their ideas to everyone for the chance to win 100 Singapore dollars to carry out their business. And this was a defining moment for them. Why? Because this was the first time anyone actually made a presentation like that. And this was the first time that anyone had a chance to get some resources to do what he wants to do. And most importantly, it is the first time that the students spoke and the teachers listened. And so here are our winning business plans. We have a mushroom farm, a poultry farm, a stone supplier, and another poultry farm. And here, in this picture, you see this boy here, his name is Ramu. He came up with the idea of a poultry farm, and he used the money to expand his existing poultry farm. And today, he can put himself through college and send his siblings to school. The rest, however, sadly, did not start up because $100 wasn't quite enough, and they had nothing to expand on, unlike Ramu. And so, one person's life was changed. Some people might tell me that it's a failure, but it's one life. To me, I think that's priceless. And so, after Ramu, we believed that this would definitely work. And so in December 2010, we went down again and we expanded our program to 4 schools. And we gave out $500 instead, since $100 was too little. And we also added something we call the Gazaab game, which is named after our project, Project Gazaab, which means awesome in Nepali. And in this game, we gave away 20 rupees, which is roughly the equivalent of 50 Singapore cents, to each of the students. And we told them, what do you think you can do with it? Can you grow it? Try doing some business with it. And that's all we said. And off they went trying to increase the value of their newly found windfall. And honestly, the next day, we were expecting some to lose everything. And the good ones, maybe they come back with 30, 40 rupees, which is a 200% increase. Perfect, right? But what was interesting is that none of them lost money. And the good ones came back with 30, 40, 50 rupees. Everyone came back with a return on investment, if you were to put it that way. And the really good ones came back with 80 rupees, a 4-fold increase. And then there was this one guy. His name is Hakaman. And his story is the kind where, if you hear it, the clouds would part and the angels would sing. and you feel like the world is so wonderful. Hakaman came back with 220 rupees. That's like 1,100%. I don't even know when I can use the 1,001%. And what he did was, he used the 20 rupees to buy tomatoes from neighboring farms, and he sold it in the village market. He did it again, and after 2 trades, he switched to lemons. Why? Because lemons had higher margins. And he did lemons for 3 trades. And when he passed the money back to us, he was telling us, I could have come back with 1,000 if you gave me 2 more days. And not surprisingly, Hakaman went on to win one of the 4 business awards that we awarded that year. Together with Susila, who set up a candle making outfit, Sauruj, who set up a mushroom farm, Raj, who set up a poultry farm, and of course, Hakaman himself, who set up a mushroom farm. And by the way, these are all not business plans anymore. They are all operational and profitable, with Raj having just sold off 300 chickens the last time we visited him. And for Hakaman himself, after we awarded him the prize money of $500, we were so excited to see him explain the action. We asked him, hey Hakaman, so when are you going to start your business? And Hakaman said, it depends. And immediately our faces changed, and I could feel your hearts dropping as well. Because it depends doesn't seem like it's going to happen anytime soon, right? And so we wanted to find out more. We pressed further. Hakaman, what does it depend on? And he said, well, it depends on when you guys leave. If you leave now, I can start now. If you leave tonight, I can only start tomorrow. And Hakaman, true to his word, within 1 month, he set up a fully operational mushroom farm and sold out his first harvest on pre-orders. 8 months later, he has since sold off his first mushroom farm, went back to his village, and set up 5 more. And today, the combined value of his mini mushroom empire is worth almost 10,000 Sing dollars. Can you hear the angels sing? And I guess what I want to say here is that there are many, many more Hakamans out there. With the hundreds of leaders and geniuses we have, with the 2 billion at the top of the pyramid, we have at least twice that number with the 4 billion at the bottom of the pyramid. And what they need is just that little push, that little bit, that little inceptive thought to tell them that they can do something great to benefit their community and give them some resources to get started. And 20 rupees was all it took to get Hakaman started. And over our 2 expeditions, we have seen that there's an effect called the beacon effect we see after what we do. Let me just explain with a short story. In feudal empires long ago, the king usually relied on a system of extensive beacon towers to alert and gather his armies in the case of a threat or an emergency. The king would light one tower alight, and then one by one the beacon towers would light up, carrying the message across the entire empire. And in many ways, in many aspects, these social entrepreneurs, they're just like these beacons. They shine brightly with hope and inspiration, and they will be the ones who inspire and lead their community out of poverty. And that is our vision with Gazaab, to light as many of these beacons as possible in each and every impoverished community. And so Gazaab just took off so well, we couldn't wait to share our idea with the rest of the world. So we met people and put together 2 other teams to these 3 places. In this year actually, they are leaving in 2-3 weeks time. More than 50 volunteers. But then we realized something. We had to detract from our model of overseas community service project. We needed to be permanent. We needed to be a social enterprise exactly as we preach. Now what could we do? These people at the bottom of the pyramid, they are resilient, they are tough, they are entrepreneurial. It's all stemming from their daily struggles with poverty. But what if they could put these daily struggles behind them for a while and have some resources to start a small and stable business without collateral, without rigid interest repayments, and without having to think about eating today, because then they can plan for tomorrow. And so we thought, maybe a patient investment would be perfect. I mean, if microloans work, why not micro venture capital? And so, Gazaab Social Ventures was born, a micro social venture capital fund that looks for high impact entrepreneurs like Hakaman himself, and we give them some resources to get started. And then we help them to become sustainable and profitable. Once that happens, we turn them into socially responsible social entrepreneurs, where they can then lead their community in the fight against poverty. And with their profits, we ensure that a portion of it goes into supporting a local community initiative. And in many cases, this is a water sanitation facility or a community skills center. But it all depends on what the community needs at the time. And with the rest of the profits, we can then invest in another high-impact entrepreneur, effectively closing the loop and setting up a beacon effect. That will make us more sustainable and scalable. And so, would we succeed? Would we succeed? Perhaps, just perhaps, the term bottom of the pyramid would cease to exist. I wonder if I'll see that in my lifetime, but I'll be glad to spend my lifetime doing it. And my first step, together with my brother in arms, Akash right there. Akash, can you stand up? Can you come here? Together with my brother in arms, Akash, right here now. It is to take a break from university and spend about a year in Nepal to make this happen. School can wait, right? And we haven't told our parents yet, so I'm looking at this video. Yes, and most importantly, can you just help me to close your eyes right now? Close your eyes right now. And imagine this. Imagine that in each and every impoverished community in the world, every person is a potential entrepreneur. And they have the resources, the knowledge, and the opportunity to become a social entrepreneur and lead their community in the fight against poverty. And a beacon effect would take place, where one beacon lights up one after another, setting the world alight with hope and inspiration. And if you would please open your eyes right now, the black screen of poverty will be replaced by this as our future. Thank you.